Hello and welcome to another endurance race challenge. This is a version that I didn't know about. Someone let me know about this one, said it was a really good earnings race, so I thought I better do a test. I'm using tilt B controls with all assists off. I have my steering sensitivity on 2. That really comes down to personal choice. The higher the number, the less you have to twist your device to take corners. So if I'm on steering sensitivity 10 and I'm taking a corner, I barely have to tilt my phone to get around that corner. But that also means that I'm more twitchy in the corners, and you end up losing a bit of traction that can slow you down. So over time, I've worked myself down to my standard setting is now 2. And I used to run actually steering sensitivity 10. I have no clue how I could do that. I can barely drive like that now. I certainly can't drive with any degree of accuracy anymore. So I'm faster this way. You'll notice I'm being very careful. We'll get more into that. Assists. You noticed all my assists were off. That's pretty much a requirement. You might be able to get away with steering assist low. For myself, I still find it fights me too much off track. Definitely forget about brake assists. Not possible. Traction control you could leave on if you drive perfect. But honestly, it's just going to cause you more trouble. So you got to be able to drive with all of those off. And you'll notice I just went through a section called the bus stop. I'm really trying to keep this on track quite a lot. I am going to take 2 cuts, and this is my very first time trying this, guys. So believe it or not, I didn't do any tests. So you can see I'm sliding around a little bit. That's costing me, but I'm also taking it easy. So the first few laps here, ooh boy, the bots drive pretty bad, and I've got to make sure I'm not going to hit them. And we're going to take it all the way to the perpetual point, then we're going to start hopping ahead. I'm also going to give you lots of other things in this video. I'm going to bring up some comparisons right away. I'm going to start to talk about some of the most popular cars to do this in, so we can see comparisons and see what these earnings will be like compared to other popular versions of this race. And something we should get to here pretty quickly is, what does it cost to get this car and fully upgraded? Well, 600 gold, and there's the full upgrade costs, and I don't know the earnings per minute yet. This car was possible to earn in the past. Who knows, there could be a rerun of that event or a flashback at some point. Let's take a look at the specs of this car. Again, fully upgraded. This is in the exclusive series. These specs are all right for a car of this price. You know, not amazing. The brakes are actually pretty amazing though. So let's look at now some other cars. So Audi R8 LMS Ultra, that's one of the most popular versions of doing this, mainly because it's the cheapest car to fully upgrade, only car you can buy with R dollars and make decent earnings. There you can see the fame per minute and R per minute. The main focus is the fame per minute. 683 fame per minute, that's pretty good. R per minute's nice as well. So let's look at something else. Porsche 918 RSR concept. Everything about this car is slightly better than the Audi, so earnings go up because you're having faster lap times. It is a gold car, but both of those cars are in a lot of series, well worth your while to fully upgrade them. You'll easily make all that gold back and all the R dollars back from all the series you run in. Then we get into some of the big boys. Ferrari FXXK, this is the car I learned this in. It's easier in this car for sure, much more expensive. But look at the earnings, 928 fame per minute, quite a jump. And then R per minute is also a jump up. And let's see here, after this, let's take a look at the Koenigsegg Agera RS, a more expensive car, slightly better earnings. Even though those 2 races pay the identical fame per lap, this car is a little bit faster, so the earnings go up. Now let's get to the highest earning car at Porsche Short Track. It might actually be one of the Bugattis, I forget which one. I didn't fully upgrade it yet, so I can't run it. For me, it's going to be the Apollo. You can see, again, this car is slightly more expensive, actually pays the same fame per lap, but again, faster lap times equal more earnings per minute. Slightly cleaner, and you'd be getting 1,000 fame per minute. I was doing 998. So what kind of things affect earnings? Okay, because these are very important things to look at. Well, basically, per minute results will vary by skill level. So, the slower you are, the less you will earn. That means stuff like sliding around a lot, both on track and off track. You're losing time. That's going to lower your earnings. In-race heavy damage also slows you down, visible by a cracked windshield. Too much off track does lower your earnings. You don't earn anything when you're off track. However, some is necessary to get the perpetual point. And also it saves time. It keeps your momentum. So coming up here, there's a chicane. If I slow down enough to take this properly, I'm going to have to contend with this bot, so I have to be careful. So I blasted through that really fast. What I lost in earnings, I made up for in time saved, so it equalizes. Same thing with, well, okay, this is the bus stop. As you can see, I'm trying very much. Look at that, no off track at all. And then this chicane, I still like to skip it. Right there was actually no one there. Might have been better to take it. But again, the currency you earn is somewhat lost by the time you lose. So it kind of equalizes. I've done a lot of testing in this, and that's what I found. I did testing where, even in the Audi R8 LMS Ultra, of all the cars I listed, that would be the hardest one to do here. For me, it's still very easy. I'm hitting the perpetual point by now in the Audi, and that's with only taking one cut. So you can skip, like you can start skipping the second cut. Coming up here, you could skip this cut in all of the cars I mentioned. I can. You might not be able to, depends on your skill level. Notice I'm sliding quite a lot. So, interesting thing is, all cars handle differently. People will tell you that they copy and paste handling. That is not true. I know that because I intimately know these cars. And I'm finding with this Corvette, it's very interesting. I can't keep it full throttle off track. Watch this. See, I got to lift a little bit, and then the car it'll wags a little bit. So I have to wait till it's done its wag, and then I can get back on the throttle. Especially the second cut. So this isn't a cut. Oh, this has got to slow down a bit. Really trying to protect my front end here. So this cut here, I noticed I really can't keep it pinned. See that? I was wagging around a lot. So eventually what I figured out is it's better to lift for just a tiny bit, get your traction back, and then get back on the throttle. Now you can see there, I threw my car sideways. You do not want to get your nose damaged. Okay, you get the front end of the car damaged, you'll crack your windshield, which instantly means you just lost top speed, acceleration, brakes, and grip. You lose a little bit off everything. There's 2 levels of damage. Heavy cracks in your windshield mean maximum damage. So, once you get maximum damage, who cares? Hit whoever you want, you can't get any more hurt. It will waste some time unless you're careful. Ooh, that was a huge slide. So I'll sometimes start doing bump passing, which means I actually brake late and use the bot as my brakes. Ooh, I threw him off track even though I didn't touch him. I was careful. You'll notice I'm being careful. So I'm kind of honed this in. I'm doing pretty good in this car. So the first 2 cars I mentioned, the Audi and the Porsche, those races pay 500 fame per lap. All the other ones I mentioned, including this one, pay 600 fame per lap. You give up 10 to 11% of those earnings for when you're off track. So there was a tiny bit, and this is the perpetual point. You can see it now. The bots are nicely grouped together. We're going to skip ahead so you can see it even better. So skipping ahead quite a bit here. I'm only going to go to 50 kilometers. This is a slower car. So generally in a slower car, you're not earning as much, but that's not always the case. It depends on how much fame per lap it's paying and how fast your lap times can be. So we just got to do a test to find out, and we'll know, well, pretty soon here. There we go, passing on the right there, the bots will never drive there. So you have to utilize areas they don't drive. Same with this, look at that, that was pretty fast, a little bit of off track. But still, you can see a nice steady chain of bots here. So what triggers the perpetual point? Well, you've just got to pass 42 cars. That's it, at any track. The problem is, at some tracks, that's impossible, and in some cars, it's impossible. At Porsche Short Track, it's possible in almost every single car. Now, right away here, we're going to do a short little freeze frame for when I hit the 50 kilometer mark. Then I'm going to burn down the clock a little bit and end right at 50 kilometers. So you see that? We're going 2.5 times regular speed here. Going to do some donuts. And let's check how damaged I am, because I think I did great. No damage on the back, no damage on the side or the front. Left side damaged. That's not surprising because I like to hit people in the bus stop. Actual race time of 17 minutes and 39 seconds, which I need for my per minute earnings. Friends bonus is real nice, but I'm going to remove it from these numbers just because you can't always depend on it. 836 fame per minute, 4681 hour per minute. So certainly not the highest paying race, but pretty good for what this car costs. Please like, please subscribe. I have lots of other cards in the video and links right here. Bye-bye now.